There are so many programs here at MATC, but a few stand out today. Stay tuned because we'll be getting an insight look into the Environmental Health and Water Quality Technology program. Speaking of health, we will also be looking into the Nutrition and Dietetic Technician program. All this and more coming up on MATC Now. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles, and we're glad you joined us today. I'm in the studio with Dr. Sucharita Tandon, an instructor in the Environmental Health and Water Quality Technician program. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here to introduce our program and to create awareness in the community.
Of course, Doctor. Tell me briefly what your program entails here on campus.
So our Environmental Health and Water Quality Technology program, we are MECON-based program, and we are providing skill-based education to our students, which gives them a responsibility of human health, community, and environment. This is an engaging program, and we have been providing essential workers to the society since 1968. This is the only program of its kind in the entire state of Wisconsin.
All right. Well, fascinating. Thank you for giving us that brief description of your program. We'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. But for now, let's check in with field correspondent Jennifer Gregorich, who's actually there at the program right now. Jennifer, what do you see down there?
Oh, I didn't see you there. We're here at MATC's MEC1 campus, and we're learning about the Environmental Health and Water Quality Technology program. And in just a few minutes, we'll be meeting with an instructor to learn a bit more. We'll see you soon.
All right, Jennifer, hearing about this program just makes me thirsty. But for now, student producer Sage Todd recently sat down with a student from UWM to learn about their experience at the college. And before that, student producer Shannon O'Dwyer gives us a special look into the Milwaukee bar scene located at the Pfister Hotel.
High up on the 23rd floor of the notorious Pfister Hotel in the heart of the city is Blue Milwaukee Bar, where people come to sip on sweet cocktails while enjoying stunning views of the city and Lake Michigan. But tonight, the focus is shifted and the room is tense as two fierce competitors ramp up to face off in the Battle of the Bartenders.
It's an opportunity to work in our stunning Blue Cocktail Lounge with a view just like this, kind of like an after-work happy hour almost, where your friends and coworkers get to come together and they have the opportunity to raise money for their chosen 501c3 nonprofit. And that works through 10% of the bar proceeds, and 100% of the tips go back to that nonprofit.
Harris Senior Network is a nonprofit organization serving Waukesha and Milwaukee counties. Our organization works to address ageism, more importantly supporting older adults through being able to live a more healthier life within their homes.
Part of what ERAS works to accomplish is providing a number of services to help older adults remain independent throughout their senior years.
The services that we offer at ERAS are wraparound care services where we really focus on more of taking a holistic approach to supporting older adults. And what that looks like is transportation to a medical appointment or transportation to the grocery store to run an errand. We also work to reduce isolation with older adults. One of our programs that supports that is our friendly phone call. And we also support older adults through our seasonal yard care.
The Battle of the Bartenders featured two board members from ERAS Senior Network with little to no bartending experience, creating drinks to see who can get the most tips and claim bragging rights. 10% of the proceeds and 100% of the tips go back to ERAS Senior Network.
The draw for a lot of people to attend these events is to see their boss or somebody that they've put on this pedestal learn that bartending isn't actually all that easy. Being able to ask for that old-fashioned, seeing them muddle, seeing them struggle is a little bit funny, but also, again, it's all in good fun for a good purpose.
The most complicated drink that I made tonight was more than likely the Manhattan. I would say the Manhattan, and what would come in second place would be the Mojito.
My favorite alcoholic drink is bubbles, so I actually had the opportunity to learn a lot more about champagne and sparkling wine through our outlet over at St. Kate Arts Hotel, the Giggly Bar. Quite an expensive habit to have been formed, but it has been something that it's a joy every time you get to drink. Every day is a celebration.
My favorite drink to make would be the old-fashioned sweet. And I would probably say that's my favorite drink to consume as well. So the competition was, it was definitely fast-paced. I think for me, I share with a few individuals in the room, I have a newfound respect for bartenders, but it was just really phenomenal just to see friends and colleagues and community supporters to come out for a good time and to support a good cause.
UWM has nurtured some of the best that Milwaukee has to offer, one of them being EVA Ezekiel, a student currently majoring in a business finance degree here on campus.
I would say being a student at UWM is very interesting, especially given it's very much a melting pot, given, you know, we are in the city, but students from like the outskirts of Wisconsin as well as like the Midwest, this is where they like to go. It's a very new experience, but it's also close to home, so it's...
Like all colleges, UW advocates for students to join events, some to even the public, with a goal towards togetherness within the community on campus.
I would say with my program, I have a pretty light load. I'm considering I am a business finance major. It's not too much. There is certain things that like I try to join clubs or I try to, you know, reach out, use my resources on campus. So it can get a lot, but it's most definitely one of the lighter loads compared to other majors.
Those in need of guidance or a place to study or relax can walk over to the Student Union building on campus. Rather eventful or educational, students know here is where you find out.
So there are events that are held for students on campus. Sometimes there are events here at the Union, which is better for students who commute as well. There's usually events that are held like every Thursday. Like sometimes it'll be the Pride Committee. Sometimes they'll do like drag shows or like karaoke nights, stuff like that on campus. But there's a good balance. And we have like exercise classes held here. So it's nice, it's a nice balance.
Although the most important thing is getting the degree, it doesn't mean that life on campus can't be lively.
Future students who might want to go to UWM, I would say, like I said, do your research. Just because UWM can be a good school for certain majors. It's like most schools, but it can be a good school for certain majors. It might not be the best for others. You might not get as much exposure for a certain major than you would others. Luckily for me, in my major, I do have that exposure here, but some students might not. They might have been better off at a school just upstate. I would say that it is a good school, like cost-wise, especially if you go here, even if you're in a neighboring state, but otherwise, do your research.
I might have to check that place out and order myself the house special, shaken not stirred, of course.
And it's always great to hear about a college through the students themselves.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of college, let's see what field correspondent Jennifer Gregorich is up to at the MEC1 campus. Jennifer.
Thanks, James. As I mentioned before, we're here at MATC's MEC1 campus to meet with an instructor and learn more about the Environmental Health and Water Quality Technology program. Joining us today, we have Kathy Bates, an instructor here. How are you doing today, Kathy?
Oh, I'm doing quite well, thank you.
That's great.
Yes.
So tell me more. What does the coursework look like for this program?
Sure, the coursework, because we're about environmental health, water quality, it includes air, food, water, and so much more. You know, it's about the community health as well as protecting of the environment. So they get a variety of courses that relate to that to give them opportunities that are a variety as well.
Seems super interesting. And what are some of the tools and equipment your students get to use?
Sure. So in our classes, we have lab work, and so some of the variety will be using their normal glassware like beakers and Erlenmeyer flasks, things like that, but also some instrumentation that we would use in the laboratory. This is just a sampling of what we might have. And of course, whatever we do, we're following the methodology that the employers expect us to do. Our jobs are career essential type of workers, so again, we're following the known standards, and this is all driven through like environmental regulations and food safety regulations too.
It seems super interactive. And what are some of the hands-on experiences that this program offers?
Okay, so those hands-on, we like to get out, take field trips, and some of our field trips are going to visit our pond, for instance, here at the Mequon campus, as well as lakes, rivers, and streams. And some of the things that we'll do more in the outdoor environment would be using a variety of instrumentation. We may need to get into those streams or lakes and use waders or hip boots. We're looking at the water quality as far as we're going to look at dissolved oxygen, conductivity, pH, temperature, among a few parameters that we test for, as well as the biologicals, such as the type of macroinvertebrates, which would be aquatic organisms. We have some samples over there, as well as algae, the aquatic plants, the sediment and soil as well. And one of the neat things about this, whether we're doing the lab work or the field work, we're looking at it not only to sample it properly, collect those samples and do some monitoring out there, but we're also, again, doing it to the correct methodology. And when we get those results, we don't just like, oh, that was nice. Now we're comparing those results to what is acceptable as what's clean and healthy for a safe environment, as well as for our community health, our own environmental health, you might say. So we're looking at that, and then once we have that done, we also try to do preventative measures, corrective actions in case it fails.
Wow, seems like a course that really prepares their students. What careers do the students go on to have once they finish this program?
Certainly. So they are career essential workers, water treatment operators for drinking, wastewater, stormwater management, food safety such as restaurant inspectors or at food manufacturing facilities doing the food safety, food quality for Department of Agriculture. There's field monitoring and sampling and other environmental health related things like lead, asbestos, radon, mold, mildew, to name a few. Environmental health and safety is another great one. And these jobs, they're in demand because so many people are retiring from them, as well as they are paying great family livable wages with benefits.
All right. Well, it seems like a great program. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today, Kathy. You gave us great insight on the Environmental Health and Water Quality Technology program here at MATC's Mequon campus.
All right, thank you. Really appreciate that.
Back to you at the studio, James.
Jennifer and Kathy, thank you so much for that great insight. You know, our environment is truly important, and this study program teaches students how to preserve and care for our most precious natural resources. On the same track with protecting our resources, student producers Blue Thompson and John Weimer show us what the Nutrition and Dietetic Technician program is all about. But first, student producer JC Griffith met with Marianne Lazarski, who is retiring from her career as an award-winning documentary producer here at Milwaukee PBS. Chances are you've seen one of her productions.
Meet Marianne Lazarski, one of Milwaukee PBS's award-winning producers. Along with being the executive producer of 1036, Marianne has an interest in another type of production.
Documentary production is something that I've always wanted to do. I worked in news for many, many years, and while we did some specials and things like that, you know, you don't get the chance to really take a deep dive, right? And so I was very excited about the opportunity, and again, grateful that I got the job, and eventually I was able to do some of the things that I wanted to do.
After being hired at Milwaukee PBS to produce Outdoor Wisconsin, Marianne was given the opportunity to produce 1036. 1036 is a news magazine show that focuses on an issues and human interest look on the Milwaukee area.
You know, we've done everything from featuring short docs within 1036 to talking about serious issues that affect our community, whether it's, you know, lead in the water, mental health, and also profiling people in our community who, you know, we want viewers to get to know for one reason or another.
As an editorial and executive producer for 1036, Marianne has various responsibilities.
I have to produce content or make sure that other producers are producing content for the show. And then I'm responsible for working with our host, Portia Young, in recording the lead-ins and the tags for the segments. And then I work with Darren Malkowski, who's a fabulous editor, and putting the show together. So there's a lot of organization details that you have to make sure. You know, producing is the devil in the details, right? So you have to make sure that everything is ready to go.
Following the stories of interesting and inspiring local people is one of Marianne's favorite types of content to produce.
We did a piece on a 100-year-old veteran, World War II, just recently. His name is Julian. And I did a piece on, again, a 100-year-old lady, Ada, who was involved with a Polish dance group in town. And she was a bit of a character and loved telling her story. Dickie Chappelle, a documentary I did on a woman who grew up in Shorewood. She was a little bit of a character. She was a photojournalist during the war. They just have so much wisdom and so many great stories to share, you know, and so you're always looking for those kind of great human interest pieces. And those, you know, those are the kinds of stories outside of documentaries. Those are the kinds of stories that at this point in my career, I really love telling. I think the most impactful project has been Kids in Crisis, which was about youth and mental health, because we found out that it touched so many lives in different ways, you know, whether it was parents or counselors or young people themselves who saw the documentary. I love to do projects that make a difference, and that one, I think, really did in a good way. So we hope that it continues to make a difference. I've been really grateful for all sorts of projects that I've done. I wouldn't have really been able to do a lot of the documentaries that we've done here without, you know, being here at PBS.
After more than 25 years in the industry, Marianne's career has been fulfilling and successful through teaching, managing, and of course producing for not just Milwaukee PBS, but the community.
In the heart of MATC West Allis lies one of the most important and applicable programs throughout the entire college, the Nutrition and Dietetic Technician Program.
Just seemed like what everybody was eating, our food, all the processed stuff, and like reading all the ingredients in it. I was like shocked at how you can't even read half of it. So I just thought it'd be really cool to go into nutrition and learn about specifically what I can do to help my body function the best that it can.
Students get hands-on experience in only their second semester.
Students are out in the community doing projects at WIC clinics, which is Women, Infants, and Children. They're doing presentations for our older population at congregate meal sites, and they're working with patients at Frederick Hospital or other hospitals around the city. And I don't know of many other programs where your second semester you're already out there and doing the work.
The program boasts a roster of top-tier instructors, setting the bar high for excellence.
Professors will reach out if someone needs help, things like that. So you just feel a lot of support in this program, and it feels really nice.
They communicate really well. I know if they see you struggling in a class, they will come to you and just be like, I know, like I see, what can I help you with? How can I help you succeed? They don't want you to fail at all, so anything that they can help you with, it's really nice that they communicate that to you, like we want you to finish this course.
Students get real-world experience at Froedtert Hospital, working with sick patients.
Just being able to navigate around a big campus like Froedtert or Columbia St. Mary's, knowing the proper protocol for medical record charting, for interviewing patients, uniform, badging in, badging out, those types of things. Those are all skills that if our students haven't worked in a hospital or a healthcare facility, that they'll just be more comfortable with.
The program equips students with practical skills, leading to rewarding career opportunities, along with enhanced longevity and well-being.
So I'm actually a national champion boxer, and with that, nutrition is very heavily in, what foods to eat, what foods to avoid. In boxing, weight classes are everything, so nutrition is key, making sure that you have a correct diet and, so you can feel nice and strong when you perform.
I grew up in the household that had the most junk food, so all the neighborhood kids would come over for Little Debbie and Doritos, well actually the generic version of Doritos, and we just never really thought about nutrition. And my brother started dating a girl who was on the list for a kidney transplant. And suddenly we had to look at the types of foods that we were serving when she was over, or where we would choose to go to eat when she was over. And I was floundering a little bit in my studies and didn't have a direction. And I became mesmerized by this idea that what someone puts in their body is going to improve their kidney function or delay the worsening of their kidney function. And so I was guided towards dietetics, and it's really been a beneficial degree for me, for my family, for loved ones. But while I was doing that, practicing, I really developed a passion for teaching others. And when this position came open through MATC, I thought, I think that I could be an effective instructor and reach people and help other people meet their goals and change their life like mine.
Wellness can account for so many facets of our lives: physical, mental, or even environmental. We're coming back to Dr. Sucharita Tandon. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here today. I want to ask you, we're talking about the two-year water quality and technology program at our MEC1 campus. What effect does this program have on people who are trying to change or influence the environment?
So this program, it has a wide spectrum of courses and opportunities to offer to students, and then they can pick any and specialize in those. See, today students are a strong voice, and today's students are tomorrow's future. So like we are providing them hands-on skills, and we are providing, this program offers this essential careers, so which very much needed. We provide them skills, and they get the responsibility that they have towards community and health and environment. They learn to connect the ecosystems and human health, that they both work together and help in providing a sustainable future for coming generations.
Right. And what particular courses do you teach?
So this program, it's a 2-year-long program. We have, like I said, we have a variety of courses to offer. We have different courses in spring and different courses in fall. So we particularly teach like water quality, air quality, food quality, to name a few.
Right. And as students are looking at this, or potential students thinking about what career options are out there, what careers could one go into with an educational background in this program?
So like I said, this is essential workers. We are all working for, like, just imagine what would the society be without safe food, safe water, and safe air. So we are all working for that. Our students, our graduates, they go into like water treatment plant operators and into environmental labs, environmental engineering firms, as into health departments, to name a few. Yeah.
Right. And do students come from here in Wisconsin, or do they come from all over?
We have like mostly local students. But like I said, we are the only program of this kind in entire state of Wisconsin. So we are like trying to spread out the word that we need to make this more like, more than local. It's because we have to save the environment. And we like environment, the program is diverse, so we encourage all types of diversity in the program too.
Of course, and being headquartered on a large body of water, Lake Michigan, one of the Great Lakes, does that provide endless possibilities for study and research for students?
It's endless possibilities. It's like I always say, like, environment has no limits. Similarly, the program and these careers have no limits. I always say, we have great responsibility on shoulders. We have to take care of this environment. That's what, otherwise our future generations will have nothing to see. So we have great responsibility. We have endless opportunities, and it's not just water. We think beyond water. We have air, we have your immediate environmental safety, we have soil, we have food, we have everything to take care of. So there are endless opportunities for us.
All right, what are some challenges students can expect when they come into this program?
Some of the very common challenges that they don't try to link themselves to the environment. It's like, if we take care of environment, it's like you save on your health bills and all. So those are some of the challenges. Sometimes they think it's like detail. It's like we need to more connect with the ecosystems. We need to think more about the society and the environment. And I guess these are easy jobs to take, like not easy jobs, I'll say. These are well connecting jobs to the environment. So that's just those are the few bit challenges there. Other than that, I don't think there are much challenges in these professions. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Sucharita, for telling us about your experience and what this program has done for you.
Thank you for having me here, and like I said, it's a privilege for me to come here, be a part of this, create awareness about the program to the students and to the community. Thank you.
All right. You know, speaking of water, there may be something boiling over next door, and it smells like Chef Rex is back in the kitchen with another delicious recipe. Rex, what do you have for us this time?
I'm Chef Rex, and this new recipe will put you in a hex. You can run, jump, or even skip. But today, we're walking. Today, I'm going to show you how to make walking tacos, but not your traditional walking tacos. We'll be adding a little twist, or better yet, a little extra crunch. So, for this recipe, you'll need a choice of chips, ground turkey, lettuce, shredded cheese, melted queso, jalapenos, Japanese-style nuts, and any choice of additional toppings. I'll be using ground turkey as a healthier alternative. You can use ground beef if that's what you prefer. You can use chicken. The world's your oyster. Now, you can put oyster in there as well. And as you can see, I've already got it cooking just to save us some time. Now, while this is cooking, we're gonna prep our chips. And today, we'll be dealing with a variety of chips here. To start off with, I'm gonna grab these Doritos. I love these Doritos. These are my favorite kind of nacho cheese, and that's fitting because we're gonna want that cheesy flavor. Now, this is totally up to the chef's preference, but depending on how long they stay in the kitchen, I'm gonna microwave our queso. And I had that ready here. Looks like it's nice and melted. And looks like our turkey is just about done. I'm gonna turn our heat off. Oh yeah, it smells good. You know turkey is good when it smells like human. Now, I'm gonna open up my Doritos, and you're gonna wanna cut them horizontally along this side. That way you have enough space to add all of your yummy toppings. When you're putting your Doritos down, you wanna fold the insides down here to make sure they hold up. And I'm gonna grab my queso, just pour it all over there, give it a nice generous helping. Add some extra nacho cheese to our nacho cheese flavored Doritos. Once the queso's in there, I'm gonna bring the ground turkey into the mix. Just pour that in. That's a generous amount. And we'll get to our final delicious toppings. To start off with, I'm gonna grab some shredded lettuce. Just throw that in the bag, put a little bit more. Just get a little shake it up. Now, I love spicy food, so I've got jalapenos and pico de gallo here. I'm gonna add the pico de gallo, I'm gonna hold off on the pico de gallo actually and add jalapenos to this one. You'll see why I'm holding off on the pico. Just a couple jalapenos in this one. There we go. Now, I'm gonna add a little extra cheese in here. I have cotija and shredded cheese. For this bag, I'm just gonna stick with cotija. Just sprinkle that all on there. Cheese it up. And lastly, our extra crunch. Japanese-style nuts. These are so flavorful. These are so good. And you know what? With some of the toppings, your chip crunch might go away, but with these, they'll last forever. There we go. Moving on to our next bag, I think we'll go with Flaming Hots. Same process, cut it horizontally. Stand that bag up. Mama always told me to stand up straight. And I'm gonna add the ground turkey and the cheese. I'm actually gonna add the ground turkey first and get cheese over that. That way we have some nice cheesy turkey. There we go. Whoop. Almost had a little volcano going on there. And I'm gonna skip on the lettuce and jalapeno this time, only because pico has a lot of good veggies in the mix. Fun fact, by the way, pico is full of antibacterial effects. And some of these ingredients, like the onion, protects against heart disease. We don't want broken hearts in this kitchen. Actually, because of that, I'm gonna add a little extra. Get that nice and picoed up. And don't forget the nuts for that long-lasting crunch. Talk about a flavorful meal. Hurry to the store and get these ingredients, because these walking tacos will have you running, skipping, and jumping all in your first bite. Make sure you roll around next week for yet another delicious and easy recipe.
Thanks, Chef Rex, for another tasty recipe. Now let's walk over to James, who will come out of his shell with the MATC Minute.
Have you ever thought about donating blood? Come on down to the West Allis location for their blood drive on March 19th from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. located in room 117. After your donation, you'll receive a $10 e-gift card. The downtown Milwaukee campus will once again be an early voting site. It will begin on March 19th. You can check additional dates posted on the MATC website. Free yoga and meditation classes at the Mequon campus on March 19th. Located in classroom A129, you will be able to take a moment out of your busy day to reset and renew. Also at the Mequon campus, join us for their Community Day on March 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. located in the lower lobby. You can learn more about resources, the campus, community events, games, and giveaways. Spill the tea on relationships with Planned Parenthood at the Oak Creek Cafeteria. To play games, ask questions about relationships, and get resources. That's coming up on March 20th.
Thanks, James. Now let's take a look at the past and join student producer Leslie Garcia for a classic Gem KE.
Hello, lovely people and coffee lovers. I'm student producer Leslie Garcia, here to present you another hidden Gem KE. Anodyne Coffee and Roasting Company has been supplying fresh roasted coffee for the people in Milwaukee since 1999. They ground all the beans in-house, so the rich smell of coffee hits you as soon as you walk through the door. Their roastery is located in Walker's Point, but their coffee comes from all around the world, like Mexico, Costa Rica, Honduras, and Rwanda. In addition to their coffee, they serve different assortments of drinks while hosting live events most Fridays and Saturday nights from local Milwaukee artists who are able to showcase their talents to the community. Dip, stress, get blessed, and stay coffee obsessed. I'm student producer Leslie Garcia, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
Well, thanks for spilling the beans on that one, Leslie. I'll write that down as another place I'll have to visit soon. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I would like to once again thank Dr. Sucharita Tandon for joining us today.
Thank you again for having me here. And like I always say, awareness helps in encouraging students to take ownership of the environment. Thank you again.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time for another episode of MATC Now.